Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to you all present here today. My name is Haziq, and today I'm with Mr. 𝗙𝗪𝗓 as he will be discussing video editing workshop. If you have any questions regarding today's topic, do leave them in the comment section down below, and Mr. 𝗙𝗪𝗓 will answer them right after he finishes presenting. Without further ado, I'll pass the mic to Mr. 𝗙𝗪𝗓.
Hello, hai. Apa khabar semua? Salam satu Malaysia. Okay, I hope everybody can hear me well. Okay, first of all, I apologize because I'm using one screen, so I cannot see I cannot see my own picture or video, but it's okay. Okay, welcome to our free webinar. It's a sharing session from me to the industry player, to the all our audience out there. So this is regarding Photoshop. It's a tip and tricks that I use a lot when we do a creative content for our social media. Okay. Okay. So let's start it. All right. So basically, what we are going to learn today. So this is about me. Okay. This is a little bit information about me. So I'm a trainer. I'm a teacher, and my past experience also in the industry of creative, and I also a founder for Mawisawi Studio, and involved seriously with JPK, HRDF, MQA, and so on. Okay, so that's all about me. So let's continue for today's topic. So basically, what I'm going to share to you for today is I have three tips and tricks that I use it a lot, and this is to fasten my workflow. See, when we do our work, our poster, social media, creative content, so we need to do changes a lot. We need to do changes. We need to do merging, image merging. These three tips that I use a lot when I'm doing my work. So this is to fasten the workflow. So thankful for the latest update on Adobe. So most of it is already autopilot, or we can call it is IR 4.0 automated, and it's make our workflow is much more easier and easy. So let's get started. All right. So first of all is selection, because when we do poster, when we do our creative content, so we need to select our objects. We need to remove the background. We need to do the image manipulation. So the selection is very important. Traditionally, this is the tool that we are always use. So we are going to use Magic Wand tool, but it doesn't perfect. Okay, but it's help, but it doesn't perfect. All right. And other than that, if you want to have a very perfect tracing or cutting or selection, so we can use a lasso tool, where we have three type of lasso tools. So we have a original lasso tool, we have a polygon, straight line, and we have magnetic lasso tools. And yeah, it takes time when you want to tracing the object, you want tracing the pictures, okay, because we need to separate between the background, right? Okay, but thankful for the new updates, now it's easy to do selection inside our Photoshop. It's quite easy to do selection inside our Photoshop. So what we're going to do object selection, we're going to use brush selection, and we're going to go for menu select and select subject. Let me show to you. Okay. All right. So let me open my Photoshop first. Okay. So over here is our selection. Uh, the top part of toolbar here is our selection tools, our move tool to help us to select our object or subject matter. So let's focus for our first artboard. If I'm going too fast, so let me know, yeah. Right. So this is happening a lot where usually we taking our pictures, our model, our VVIP, our managers inside our office using our office background. So if we want to create like a poster, like something like that, so we need to remove the background. So usually if you're using a magic wand, so when you do a selection, okay, let me select the layer first. All right. So when we do the selection, so this is how the magic wand select. It select according to the colors. It's not too perfect. So as you can see here, so it doesn't select the shadow of the model. Right? So it's not too perfect. So to have a perfect selection, we need to use lasso tools. It's either polygon or magnetic lasso tools. But it takes time to do that. Okay, so now let me show you the easy way to do selection inside Photoshop. Okay, right. So first, we are going to go for select menu. It's on the menu bar here. We're going to go for select menu. Click on select and choose subject. But before you do that, make sure you select the picture first. Okay, now we are on the pictures. So we are on the pictures. Go to select menu and select subject. So what is going to happen? Computer will calculate the picture's pigment and automatically select our subject. So let me zoom in. Voila. See, it's not, yes, still not too perfect, but okay and precisely. See the selection. So it's also differentiate between background and then the subject matter. So this help a lot. So you don't have to go to remove dot background. You don't have to go to any other third party software to do the selection. You simply select your picture, click Ctrl J, and now we have our subject matter separated with our pictures. Ah, so this is help us a lot in when we want to create our poster, like thank you poster, festive poster, or seminar poster of our subject matter. So it help you a lot to separate your subject matter and also the background. Okay. So this only apply, I think, for CC 2018 and above. So make sure you have this function. If let's say you don't have this function, all right, we do have tools to help you to do the selection. So let's go to the tools. Okay, let me zoom in first. Okay, so here underneath the magic wand category tools. So traditionally we have magic wand, but the new tool that we have is object selection and also quick selection. Okay, object selection, that's mean we select in the rectangular selection and the computer will select the subject inside it. Meanwhile, the quick selection is we're going to use the brushes to do selection. Let me show to you. Okay, let me zoom out first. Okay, I'm going to go to the second picture. Nice. Okay, so let's say here we have multiple objects. So what we're going to do, we can use our quick selection brush. It's like a brush. As you can see, there's a plus icon in the center. If you click alternate, it will become a minus. Hold on. Okay, before that, we need to select first. Okay, so it become plus, and if we click alternate, it become minus to deselect. So let's select our macaroon. So click and select. See, this is how easy for you to select your macaroon. Okay. Oh, before that, again, make sure we select the picture first. Okay, let me select the picture first, right? And we use our quick selection tool, and then we select the pictures. See, you can click and drag to select more object. If let's say you want to precisely do the selection, like this is, we have a background here, like let's hold alternate, so become minus, so we can make it smaller a bit like that. So we can touch up our selection, make it positive again, something like that. So this is how we using our quick selection to do selection of our subject matter. So this is easy for you to do the selection. So let's say I select this part, I click Ctrl J. Now I already separated my macaroon from the original picture. Ctrl J is for duplicate a new layer. Voila. Okay, you can do the selection to different subject matter, such as like this. Or before that, let me select the picture first. Alright, click and drag. Okay, alright, tune. Click Ctrl J. So now we have our subject matter. So this is how we do selection, and it's easy to do this the selection inside the Photoshop with the current update, with the current tool that we have. So it's easy for you to use because it's require more skill, more time if we want to use a traditional tools such as selection, pen tool, and certain. Okay, but using this tool is easy for us to select our subject matter and change it to different subject matter, or to create a new composition of our subject matter. Okay, so I repeat again, we have select to select subject, and then we have our brushes quick selection tool, and lastly we have object selection tools. So object selection tools is we are selecting using rectangular tools, rectangular shape. So the computer will automatically decide the object inside our selection. Let me select this one first. Okay, I select this part. So it will automatically calculate the part that we inside the rectangular. Something like that. So let's say if I want to select this three macaroon, so it's automatically selected. Okay, hold on. Okay, wrong tools. See, it's only select these three macaroon only inside the rectangular shape. So this is the three function that I use a lot when I creating my creative content. It helped me to create the composition, to rearrange my product and sets, and etc. and etc. Ha 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 ha. All right. So again, I repeat, we have our new tools, object selection tools. You can select inside the rectangular. Quick selection tools, we use our brush to do the selection, or we can go for select menu and we select subject. Again, make sure we select our original picture for the selection, and always click Ctrl J to duplicate new one. We don't want to disturb or destroy our original pictures. Okay, nice. Okay, so that's about selection. Okay, let's see our next slide. Okay, this is how we're going to change color. So because sometimes when we have product, we have limited of colors, or we need to change the color according to the client requirement. Okay, sometimes maybe the product itself. Okay, we need to change the colors to according to the corporate colors. Okay, so let's do it in easy way. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to go for my macaron pictures. Okay, so let me hide this all first. I delete first. Nice. Okay, this one also let me delete first. Okay, since I have a multiple of subject matter here, excuse me. Okay, I'm going to change the color each of one. Okay, so every each of this macaroon, so I want to have the setting to change the color. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select the picture. I'm not using the selection. This is another method. I'm select the picture inside our layer properties. Okay, and then I'm go to setting. This is setting. If you can see a three line there inside the panel is the setting. Okay, I click on the setting. Okay, then I choose mask all object. So I choose mask all object. So let's see what is going to happen. So when you select that, okay, computer will automatically calculate. Voila, see? So the computer will separate for each subject matter to the mask, individual mask. Let me zoom in. Okay, see? So we have four macaroon. So this is the first one. So this is on the right side. This is the three macaroon that stack together. So each macaroon is in the different mask. So we didn't destroy our original pictures. Okay, that's the important thing. Okay, so let's zoom out. Okay, now we're going to change the color. To change the color, let's say I want to change my red macaroon. Okay, macaroon, I think that's the pronunciation. So, pardon me if I'm wrong. Okay, select my first macaroon, the red one. I'm going to change the color. So what we're going to do, we go to our adjustment layer here. So this is adjustment layer, yeah. So, sorry, this is adjustment layer. This is masking. Okay, we go to adjustment layer and we choose hue and saturation. What is the hue and saturation? I will explain to you after this. So we choose hue and saturation. Again, we select our first mask. Okay, not the original picture, the first mask. We go for our adjustment layer. Okay, we go for our adjustment layer. We click on the adjustment layer and we click or we choose hue and saturation. So when we choose hue and saturation, so properties of hue and saturation will be appear. So hue is the original color. So when we move the slider, so we change the color. Ah, so let's say we want to make it like a similar color with the right one. So now we can change it. So this is the easy way you change your product color. You don't have to image manipulating the image or something like that. You just change the hue of the image. Hue is the original color. Okay. Meanwhile, saturation is the percentage of that color. Are you going to make it vivid, super red, or are you going to make it lesser red? Something like a black and white. Or okay, or if you want to put it like a darker, like a shadow, or lighter. So this is for lightness. So usually we just leave it zero here. And for the saturation, you can modify so to enhance the color more, to make it, because this is a food poster, so we want to make it the color is rich, the color is like a yummy look, and so we need to modify the color. We don't want the color is too saturation, less color. Okay, we don't want it to be like that. So we're going to enrich the colors, and if you want to change the color, so you can change the color, make it any color that you want. So this is how you change your product color without destroying the original picture here. Okay, so if let's say I disable the layer, so we can see it come back to the original picture. Uh, so it goes again, okay, for the rest of our mask. So you can choose a different selection. So maybe this is the right one, right side. Same process, we go for adjustment layer. Go for adjustment layer and we click hue and saturation. Actually, you can click any setting here. You can apply solid color, gradient. It will give you different effect. Curve, exposure, vibrant. Okay, but for the changing color, I'm using hue and saturation. But for your maybe for your experiment, you can choose any setting that you like. Okay, so hue and saturation. Okay, from here also we can change the color. Maybe we can change it to red, something like that. Okay, make it lighter a bit. Okay, nice. Okay, this is how we change the color of our product. Okay, again, select our layer, our original picture, go to setting, choose mask of object. So this is a new function. I believe this is starting from CC. I'm not sure it's either 2018 or above, because this is a new trend. Okay, because previously we have to mask individually. So now there's a function for you to mask all object. So you don't have to do the selection. So it's easy for you to change the color, especially when we create like a uh, makeup poster, and like lipstick poster, or the product of the car. So we want to change the color of the car. Okay, because sometimes we only have one pictures only. Okay, or we want to modify the colors, the brightness, and etc. and etc. So this is how we do it without damaging the original picture. Okay, again, let's try out. Okay, I'm going to choose the bottom part of the uh, tree macaroon here. So this time I don't want to choose hue and saturation. Let's try different. So maybe we go for color balance, or okay, let's try vibrance. Okay, this is vibrant. Vibrant is is there something happening? To enrich the color more. See? So the yellow is become more yellow, the orange become more orange. Okay, it's like overcooked macaroon. Okay, or we're going to make it lesser vibrant. So it become like dull. Like black and white pictures or dull pictures. So you can adjust, you can put it there. Okay, let's say if you do a mistake in your product photo shoot, so this is also how you change or you modify the look of the product. Okay, so this is the example that how we do changing color for our product photo shoot, so that we can apply it for our poster. Okay, maybe you want to change all the color become the same color, also can. Okay, by using this method. So if let's say I want to change after apply the setting, I want to make it a red again back. So what I'm going to do, I just simply double click here. Okay, so the setting will appear again, the properties will appear again, so I can change the color. Maybe I can make it same as a red macaroon, similar with the right macaroon. Okay, and then going to change the saturation, make it rich, make it lighter a bit, make it darker a bit. Okay, and then maybe I want to change the bottom part also. This one I can delete. Okay, so delete again. Same we apply for hue and saturation. So this one also we can change it to red also. Okay, we need to find the colors. Okay, all right, make it rich a bit. Okay, all right. So this is how we can change the color, make it look similar. Okay, again, choose your picture, go to setting, choose mask of all object. So when you have the mask, this is the mask, then you can apply adjustment layer or adjustment effect. You can change the brightness and contrast, you can change the hue and saturation, and etc. and etc. All right. So here you go. Okay, let's go back to our slide. So that's the second tips is changing color. Okay, the third tip is how to use a vanishing point to our product, because sometimes we work a lot with mock-up picture because we don't have the original product, so we need to work out with the mock-up. So to attach or to stitch our logo, our design to the mockup, so there's a few method, but one of it is using vanishing point. Okay, let me show you how to do the vanishing point. Okay, let's go back to our Photoshop. So let's go back to our third artboard. So I'm going to select my artboard. So this is my third artboard. So what we're going to do, we're going to put a logo on top of it, or we can put a texture on top of it. So then we can change it according to whatever we want. Okay, let's do it together. So I'm going to delete this first. Okay. So now we have our box. So before we do the vanishing point, so we need to open the picture that we want to stitch it, or to stitch it together, or we want to paste it to our box. Okay, so I'm going to open Excel logo. Okay, not here. So I'm going to open Excel logo, click and drag. So we have our logo here. So unlock it. All right. So click Control A for Control All, and click Control C to copy. Okay, click Control C to copy. Okay, again, click Control A to select all. Click Control C to copy. Then we go back to our poster. So this is our box. Okay. So what we need to do, we need to create a new layer. So we need to add new layer. So after we add new layer, then we go to filter. So inside filter, you can find vanishing point, or the shortcut will be alternate control V. Okay, alternate control V. So when you click vanishing point, so the vanishing point will be appear something like this. So from here, this is my previous one before I do the artboard. So from here, what we can do, we can draw our vanishing point, our perspective. Okay, where it's going to be. So we're going to put there, and going to draw to drag for the bottom part. Okay, we're going to put it there. I'm going to move it, slanting a bit. Nice. It's too small, right? Let me zoom in a bit. Okay. So now we have, okay, so we have our vanishing point. So again, let me do again. Undo. Okay, so clean. So we're going to click this to create a plane. Plane is like a plane perspective plane. And we're going to select the point on the top part. So after we done selecting the top part, we're going to do, we're going to drag this part for the front part. So click alternate, click control, hold control. Click on the at the point, click and drag. Okay, so now we have another side of plane. So then we can rearrange it to go for your point to point. Okay, this one is supposed to be here. Drag it here and drag it here. So now we have our plane, vanishing point. So next step is we're going to paste our logo here. So let's zoom out a bit. So Control V to paste. So now I have my logo. So we're going to click the logo, click and drag and bring it to our box. So to put it inside our plane. See? So where you put your logo at the box, okay, so then you can rearrange the position. So we can rearrange the position. Okay, you can put it here. Let me zoom in a bit. Okay, then we can rearrange it again. If you click Control T, so you can make it smaller for transformation. You can transform it, make it smaller, make it bigger, something like that. Okay, so let's make it bigger, something like that, and we put it in the center. Done. So after you done, then click OK. So let's click OK. So now we have our Excel logo there. So next what we're going to do is we're going to go for layer blending. So I'm going to my layer blending here. I'm going to select a darker, or you can select darker, multiply, color burn, something like that. So it will give like a printed effect on our mockup. Okay, so I can choose my color burn here. It looks nice, and then we can change opacity if you want to change the opacity to make it blend with the box. It's either make it like something like this or make it more darker. Let me zoom in a bit. So you don't have to remove the white background of the logo. So you just to go for the layer blending, then we can blend with our mockup. So as you like lah. So you can change darker, multiply, color burn, linear. There's a lot of function that you can choose. For this tutorial, I'm going to choose color burn. Okay, now I'm going to make it a little bit darker. Okay, nice. So this is how we put our logo to our mockup. So how about our background? Okay, so let's open our background. So this is the background that I choose. Click and drag to open it. So after it open, make sure it's unlocked. Control A for all, Control C to copy, and we go back to our mockup. Okay, over here, and same process. Okay, we're going to create a new layer, and then we go to filter, and we go for vanishing point. So by right, the vanishing point that we create is still there, so we can use the same vanishing point for our pattern. So let's paste our pattern. Control V to paste. Okay, so it's super big. So let's click Control T for transformation. So make it smaller a bit. Okay, make it smaller a bit. Okay, nice. Okay, maybe this part I'm going to make it straight or portrait. And we choose our selection and click and drag. Okay, where is it? Our ni. T. Okay. Oops. Okay, again. Because when I click enter, it's become okay already. Okay, go back to filter, vanishing point. Okay, let's Control V. Okay, we're going to click Control T to make it smaller. Okay, something like that. Okay. Okay, I know what happened. Okay, let's undo. So usually what is going to happen, okay, we need to paste our picture first, and we need to drag it inside our box first. So when we drag it inside our box, something like this, okay, then we can click Ctrl T. Ctrl T is for transformation lah, because this is hidden, so it's inside our vanishing point, so it will be hidden. So again, we paste our pattern, click and drag. So because the pattern is super big, so I'm going to put it here, something like that, and we're going to click OK. So what now we have our pattern. So when we have our pattern, same process, we go for layer blending. So this time I'm going to use darker because I want to maintain the blue color. Okay, or if you want to change selection, something like this, darker color also can. And we're going to change and manipulate the opacity. So let's say I zoom in, we can see the picture is like a printed into our box. It's according to the plane that we create. So this is how we attach or we stitch our logo, our design into our mockup. Into our mockup. So you can put anything that you like. Okay, if let's say you want to change the position also, you can change. So you're going to put it on top here. Okay, so this part also, but this part we're going to move it something like this. Okay, the position itself, or we can go back to our vanishing point. Okay, we can add more if you want to add more here, because once it's stitched, you cannot change it already. Or we can add more design or more logo. So let's say I want to add more logo, so I need to add a new layer. Okay, new layer, and we're going to open a new logo. Maybe I'm going to put my own logo here. Okay, so it's already PNG. Control Alt, Control C, and we go here for filter, vanishing point. Okay, Control V. So you can click and drag, and then we're going to put it over here. Or maybe for my logo, we're going to put here. Nice, and we click OK. Okay, let's zoom in. So next step is for us to do layer blending, something like that. So it will give a different effect according to the colors. The color of our logo. So maybe I'm going to make it like a transparency a bit, something like this also can, vivid also can, darker also can, exclusion, subtract also can, divided. So you can choose any type of effect that you want. Something like that also can. Okay, or I think this one we're going to choose for linear burn or color burn, something like that. Or maybe we can choose a normal logo somewhere over there. Uh, so this is how we do it. Okay, if let's say we want to have our logo similar like this, so what we're going to do, we need to change our logo to become black and white. We need to make it like a positive negative logo. Because only positive negative logo, then we can apply quite similar effect like a Excel logo. So we need to create a positive and negative logo for before we attach to our mockup. So this is how we do our mockup using vanishing point. You can use a box, you can use a cup, you can use like a smartphone, you can use like a monitor, or you can use any mockup that you can find from the internet, and you can place your logo, your product, or your design inside it using this method, using vanishing point. Sometimes we have another method also using perspective wrap. Okay, and different method, but this is the method that we always use for packaging design, to put our logo, our design, and etc. So this is how we do it. As you can see, I'm doing very fast. Okay, I'm doing it very fast. Less than half an hour, so we do this three effect. So this, as I said earlier, this is to fasten the workflow, the process of our creative design. Okay. So again, let me recap. So first, we have selection. So we have select, we have subject to help us to select the subject, or we can use our selection tool here, object selection or quick selection tool, to help us to select the subject. Because nowadays we tend to use our smartphone for photography, for videography, especially for our in-house product. Okay, and for me also, I use my background, my wall background, okay, for as a background for photography. So it's easy nowadays. You don't have to use like a green screen or extra, etc. Okay. So other than that, so the second step or tips, that's how to change the color. So what we're going to do, we're going to go for layer setting, and we select for mask all object, and after that we go for adjustment layer, and we select hue and saturation. Hue is the original color, so we can change the color, and saturation is the percentage of the color, how much the color that you want to put on the picture. Okay, then the last step or the last tip is using vanishing point to attach or to stitch our logo, our design to our mockup. Because nowadays we tend to use mockup for like a pre-promotion for our product or soft launch of our product. So we don't have the actual product. So we use mockup to get better visual, to get better visual and better presentation of our product. So this is the 3 step that I would like to share to you today, because I use it a lot to help me to fasten my workflow, especially when we do for our social media content. Okay, let's go back to our slide. So that's it. Thank you for listening to our free webinar. So if you have anything you want to ask, you can ask. Maybe I pass back to Haziq from Excel. Uh, okay.
Lagi. Thank you presentation. Start with.
Haziq punya suara tak clear. Tak dengar. I cannot hear.
Okay. So much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining our live session here today. But this is not the end. Mr. Ismail will be having his public training on his video editing workshop 13th of May. If you are interested, you may reach out to us via the email and contact number provided down below. Thank you so much, everyone.
Anything? Question? Tak ada. Tak ada. Okay.